And welcome to Hannity, and we are coming to you from beautiful Abu Dhabi, right here in the United Arab Emirates. It is currently 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 5 a.m. right here in the UAE, where President Trump capped off yet another day of his historic Middle Eastern trip. And for the third day in a row, it was a day of victories for the administration. In fact, this trip has been so productive that even former Biden officials, according to a new Axios report, they are in awe of what he has been able to accomplish. President Trump began his day at a breakfast with business leaders in Qatar, where he touted the trillions in investments that he has secured and the millions of jobs that it could lead to in the United States, high-paying career jobs. Here's what he said.
We've raised trillions of dollars in investments. There's never been anything like it. And just to finish, we have a country that now has, I think, Howard, we can say that at least $10 trillion of investment and potential investment. And if the past administration did $500 billion, it was like a lot. But we did it in 2 months. I want to thank the Emir because he put up a lot, and in terms of investment, it could amount to 2 million, 3 million, maybe even 4 million jobs in the United States. And more importantly, it's really important stuff. It's tremendous refining capabilities. It's capabilities for very high-end. AI is a big subject, and it's a big subject over here, too. I always say, what are you investing in? It seems one thing everybody seems to have in common is AI. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad. Maybe you shouldn't do it because too many people are doing it, or maybe you should follow the crowd, fellas, okay? So you're going to figure it out. I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the media. The media, I have to say, has been very fair. They've been very fair. They've been terrific, actually. I was watching some of our, normally they would not say good things, but they're having a hard time saying bad because this is a record tour. There's never been a tour that will raise, it could be a total of $3.5–4 trillion.
And in a few minutes, by the way, Howard Lutnick will join us, and he'll talk about AI, and he'll talk about semiconductor chips and the deal they signed here in Abu Dhabi. And after Trump's repeated warnings to Iran, according to a breaking report from NBC last night, the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, they finally indicated they would be open to a nuclear deal. Now, that would, according to one Iranian official, include Iran committing to never producing nuclear weapons, getting rid of their stockpiles of highly enriched uranium. And that means also stopping all enrichment forever. And, of course, international inspectors, and that must include American inspectors, that will have to supervise the process in exchange for the immediate lifting of all economic sanctions on Iran. But if there was ever a trust but verify moment, this is certainly it, and a lot at stake here. But speaking this morning, President Trump issued another warning to Iran should this deal fail. Take a look.
You probably read today the story about Iran has sort of agreed to the terms. They're not going to make, I call it in a friendly way, nuclear dust. We're not going to be making any nuclear dust in Iran. And we've been strong. I want them to succeed. I want them to end up being a great country, frankly, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. That's the only thing. It's very simple. It's not like I have to give you 30 pages worth of details. There's only one sentence. They can't have a nuclear weapon. And I think we're getting close to maybe doing a deal without having to do this. There's two steps. There's a very, very nice step, and there's a violent step, the violence like people haven't seen before. And I hope we're not going to have to do this. I don't want to do the second step.
And reporting on that meeting, the president made those comments numerous times. Now, before departing for the UAE, President Trump delivered remarks to U.S. military personnel stationed in Qatar, highlighting the strength of our military, touting his administration's military reforms, while teasing a possible pay raise for our troops that work so hard and sacrifice so much. Take a look.
I'm thrilled to be here with the men and women who embody American strength and pride, the warriors of the United States Armed Forces. It's an amazing group of people. You are, without a doubt, the greatest fighting force in the history of the world. That's the way it is. I said it last night. I said it strong. We have the strongest military in the world. There's not even a contest. We have the best equipment. Nobody has equipment like us. Nobody has the planes or the missiles or anything else. And as your commander-in-chief, I'm here to say that America's military will soon be bigger, better, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. As president, my priority is to end conflicts, not start them, but I will never hesitate to wield American power if it's necessary to defend the United States of America or our partners. My 2026 budget includes across the board. Maybe you don't want it. Look, for the good of the country, you don't have to take it. Pay raises for each and every one of you, substantial pay raises.
Now, before departing Qatar, the country bestowed one final honor on President Trump and performed a military flyover before he boarded Air Force One. And as it approached Abu Dhabi, the UAE followed what Saudi Arabia did and Qatar did, and they sent fighter jets to escort Air Force One right to the runway. Now, during the flight from Qatar to the UAE, the president weighed in on Vladimir Putin skipping the peace talks with Ukraine. He told reporters why. Here's what he said.
Look, nothing's going to happen until Putin and I get together, okay? And obviously he wasn't going to go. He was going to go, but he thought I was going to go. He wasn't going if I wasn't there. And I don't believe anything's going to happen, whether you like it or not, until he and I get together. But we're going to have to get it solved because too many people are dying.
Now, upon arriving in Abu Dhabi, once again, the red carpet was rolled out for President Trump after being greeted by the president of the UAE. He participated in a full welcome ceremony to celebrate his arrival before his motorcade departed and moved through the streets of Abu Dhabi, which, just like in the previous countries he was visiting here in the Gulf states, lined with American flags, just as they were in Riyadh and Doha, and in what might have been one of the strongest showings of solidarity. The tallest building in the world was lit up tonight like the American flag. Now, during the bilateral meeting in Abu Dhabi today, the UAE's president bestowed the highest possible civilian honor on the president. And take a look at this incredible moment.
Will you give me the honor?
And remember, less than 2 months ago, the UAE committed to invest $1.4 trillion in the U.S. over the next 10 years. Make no mistake, this trip was nothing short of a triumph for the country, for the president. He secured what is trillions of dollars in investments for the U.S., which will inevitably lead to millions and millions of high-paying career jobs, especially, we'll get to it later, with Howard Lutnick, semiconductor chips, artificial intelligence, and more importantly, the president outlined his vision for a brighter, more peaceful future in the Middle East. It is literally a possibility now. He has strengthened ties with these Arab nations, and perhaps more importantly, this visit signified a new world order, one in which countries in the Middle East will turn to President Trump, turn to the U.S. to counter Iranian aggression and hegemony in the region. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.